Hello folks, this is the Black Weasel, and today's One Piece chapter 839. So we're gonna go ahead and get right to it. And once again, after a usual 1 week break, the chapter usually gets released on a Wednesday. So now, and the name of the chapter is called "I Shall Never Forget the Debt That I Owe You." So it's kind of a long one. Anyways, I think this is a what the heck? I think this is a ending for like a really long manga series that's been going since the 70s. Chopper is crying. Usopp's waving a goodbye. Nami is smiling. Frankie is looking at a poster. Luffy is drawing it. Brook is saluting, and Sanji is looking up. And I don't know. So it's kind of the ending of it all. Alright, we'll go ahead and get right to it. Anyways, and when the scene starts back at Gurman Kingdom, where somebody says, "Welcome back, Ichiji, and Ninji." One could say that Broccoli was also one of the places that suffered greatly after Doflamingo's fall from power. That makes sense, because like a while back, he said that somebody said that two peaceful countries are interested in buying weapons. So, and anyways, Vinsmoke Judge says they lost their primary weapons manufacturer in the midst of war and came groveling to us for help. They were so desperate, in fact, they chose to end it rather to let their war drag out. And Riju says, "I think this is a good example of an instinct where trying to keep everyone alive will end up causing more casualties in the long run." And Ichiji says, "This is me, Karen." And Ninji says, "We let our strangers decide who writes us the biggest check. That's all there really is to it." So they're a mercenary group in general. Yanji says, "Hey, we could have made an even greater profit if we had double dip and taken up both sides." Yeah, but that's not that's like unethical in some ways. But 70 says that would make us no different than pirates. So they have to have some type of dignity. Anyway, somebody says, Vinsmoke Judge says, "At this very moment, we are still a nation officially registered as an affiliate of the war government." And then Ninja says, "That reminds me, Father, the next river is coming up." Vinsmoke says, "Well, either way, in a not so distant future, I'm guessing we'll be stripped of the right to participate in the river." Vinsmoke says, "I hope you all prepare for that moment, because when it happens, we, Germa, will be one step closer to our ultimate goal. Taking over North Blue, I assume." And Ninji says, "It's rare to see Father in such high spirits. To think that you, of all people, will actually be of use to us. Never thought I'd see the day." And Ninji says, "Hold your head high, Sanji." And Ninji says, "Man, all of us were a bit stunned when you up and vanished into thin air that day. Sure, from time to time, we siblings would reminisce about you. The discussion almost exclusively around the amusing and humorous ways for you to have died out while being out there on your own." And Yanji starts laughing. He said, "Wahaha." And Sanji says, "Yo, Ninji, finish what's left on your plate." And Ninji says, "Hey, what?" And Ninja says, "Oh, this? I don't want it. I lived there intentionally." And Ninja says, "I just had some of the most mouth-watering chocolate before our meal. Besides, this weird potato sauce completely killed my appetite. The consistency makes me want to puke. So the only place it's going into will be the trash." And Sanji says, "Eat it. You're an ignorant, spoiled person who doesn't know shit about the value of food." Damn. And Ninja says, What did you just say to me? Do you think you can get away with talking to me in that tone?" And Ninja says, "Call the head chef. What the hell is Cosette? What she thinks passes as food made my brother room a good mood." And we have a character introduction of head chef Cosette. And Cosette says, "My sincerest apologies. I take full blame and responsibility for serving food that did not cater to Lord Ninji's liking." And Ninja says, "Now then, don't you dare move a muscle, Cosette." And he chucks a plate at Cosette, and oh my god, it's flying towards her. He's really gonna toss a plate at her. And she's very, very shocked. And lo and behold, somebody grabs the plate that was almost about to hit her face. And the food drops to the ground. And lo and behold, Sanji grabs it. And Ninji says, "Why, you?" And Sanji says, "You totally lost your mind." And Sanji says, with the good manners as usual, he says, "Are you trying to leave a scar on this beautiful lady's face?" And she has a blushing going on. And Ninja said, "The hell? That so-called lady is just a menial servant who prepares our meals." Wow, that's bogus as hell. Anyways, Riju said, "Such a gentleman." And Sanji said, "Now, look, it's all over the floor. I'll have you know that this is called aligot. It's made by carefully mixing potatoes with cheese." And Cosette is wondering how he knows it. And Sanji says, "Potatoes strengthen our immune system. They help maintain and regulate blood pressures. Never mind the tons of nutritional value it contains." And Cosette says, "Lord Sanji, please allow me to take care of the cleaning." And Sanji says, "None of you have ever so much as glanced in the direction of an ingredient, so you haven't the slightest clue. The time and effort put into selecting and preparing this meal can't fit." And he picks up a potato, and he stuffs it in his mouth. And Sanji says, "But I can tell the sweat and toil that went into preparing this dish had to begin before sunrise." And Cosette says, "You mustn't, Lord Sanji. Royals should never eat food from off the floor." And Riju says, "This is the most repulsive thing ever. I think I'm going to throw up. Oh my god. This is royalty at its finest." Let me drink. And Sanji says, "The seasoning you chose for this perfection." And Cosette is shocked again, and she starts blushing and tears coming out of her face. And Niji says, "You gotten way too comfortable rubbing elbows with the low-life commoners." And he's getting ready to kick Sanji's face in. And Ninji says, "If you insist on calling yourself my brother, I won't stand for such demeaning and despicable acts." And he's getting ready to kick Sanji's face. And Vinsmoke Judge says, "Stand down, Ninji. Now is not the time or the place. Not before his wedding." And Ninji's leg stops. I was like, "Wait, what?" And something weird happens, and there's like a force sound, because I can see the text about it. And a wind goes past Sanji. I was like, I don't know what the heck happened. Holy crap, Ninja is stronger than I thought, so it makes me wonder how strong each Ninja really is. And Ninja says, "You bring shame to our family." And Sanji says, "Being affiliated with this brings shame to me." And Sanji says, "Spoiled brats that don't appreciate a warm meal. Men who dare raise their hands against a woman. Royals who treat the lives of the subordinate as nothing more than expendable pawns. Everything you do, everything you stand for goes completely against every fiber in my body." Dang, like he sure has some balls. Izanagi, Vinsmoke, Judge, Ninja, and Yanji are all looking at him, like the men in the family. And Riju's just smiling as well. Anyways, Ninja says, "Your opinions are nothing more than prattle and musings of the plebeians." What the heck is a plebeian? Anyways, he's also said, "I never understood how that brain of yours worked ever since we were brats. Understand this, royals are meant to act like royals. The only person acting this bravely here is you." And that pisses off Sanji, what Ninja says. Anyways, Jaji says, "Ninja's logic is flawless. You need to ray in that twisted thinking of yours, Sanji." And Jaji says, "Perhaps it is this man who has such a negative impact on your upbringing." And he posts us a picture, a Chef Zev's picture. Man, I haven't seen that guy in a while. I wonder how he's doing. I was like, what the heck? And Sanji says, what? And Vinsmoke, Jaji says, Big Mom's connection run very far and very deep. I was told that you had been keeping registers at this main establishment until roughly 2 years ago. And he starts sweating a little bit. And Jaji says, we already pinpointed his current location. Oh, Chef just left after 2 years. Anyways, Jaji says, as well as the name of his sea restaurant, the Barati. And Jaji says, what's wrong? You're looking a bit pale. And now there's a flashback. Jaji talking towards Tamago. And Tamago says, the pirate Sanji himself seems to be opposed to the marriage arrangements as well. If worse comes to worse, then feel free to use these risk lists. It may be a bit heavy-handed, but exploiting this weakness of his is sure to yield favorable results. And Jaji says, in the event that you insist on challenging the final orders, I have it on good authority that this man will meet an expected and untimely death. This will be your first and only warning on the matter. Oh my god, he just threatened him with a death threat of Chef Zeph. I thought Big Mom was supposed to do that, but then again, the Grimmer 66 are assassins. And Sanji looks very, very stunned. Anyways, he starts sweating a little bit. And Jaji says, get into that thick skull of yours. Do not rock the boat. Do not cause any waves. I know you're fully aware that what each and everyone here is capable of. And Ichiji nods his head. And Jaji says, this process will go off without a hitch. And you will accept it. You will say goodbye to your old friend and your old life. As long as you're obedient and follow through with this marriage, everyone and everything will come out of this unscathed. Now, Ichiji, Ninji, Yanji, and Riju, they all walk out towards someplace. And they're all going someplace, while Sanji's there standing alone. Anyways, the scene changes, and there's a flashback of Sanji thinking about being on a rock island, and Sanji was saying, but I was trying to kill you. What do you get off of being so forgiving and treating me so nicely? And Sanji says, this is beyond awesome, you shitty Gramps. So this is what a sea restaurant looks like. And then Chef Zep says, things will only get harder and tougher starting today. And Sanji says, you got nothing to worry about. You got me by your side. And there's a flashback of Sanji dropping his plate when he sees a cute girl. And Chef Zep says, oi, you depraved little eggplant. And Sanji and gets kicked by Chef Zep. He says, I quit faster in my sleep, you little eggplant. And Sanji says, keep telling yourself that, you shitty old geezer. And Sanji gets kicked by Chef Zep again. And he says, why, you little eggplant, must you always distracted by even passing pair of breast? And Sanji says, Bwah! Anyways, Chef Zep yells at him again, and he says, you snot-nosed little eggplant. Anyway, the scene changes, where Chef Zep says, oh wait, Sanji, try not to catch a cold. And he starts crying, and I remember this, this was before he left and joined the Straw Hat crew. And Sanji is crying, and he says, oh no, Zep, till my dying day, I shall never forget everything you done for this shitty little eggplant. And the scene go back towards the present, and Jaji says, let us make tomorrow a great and memorable day. Oh my god, this starts tomorrow. Anyways, Jaji says, we will be having lunch with Big Mom and Pudding later today. And Jaji says, make yourself presentable when the time comes. Anyway, something changes. I mean, the scene changes, and somebody says, someone, I need immediate help. Please call a doctor. Oh, shit. Anyway, Sanji says, hey, don't pass out on me now. That little piss stain, it had to be him. Only he be this vindicate. What the heck does that mean? And Sanji is very, very angry, and he said, what the hell did this girl ever do to you? And we have a flashback of the same chapter of Cosette, she has a happy face, and Sanji says, "What kind of a man beats a woman to the point that she's rendered unconscious?" Oh my god, like, she beat the hell... I mean, he beat the hell out of her face. That's really, really awful. And Sanji says, "I can't come even call him scum. He's the shit that's buried beneath it." Anyways, Riju was looking the whole time. He says, "You brought this all on yourself, Sanji." No, actually, that was Yanji. And Sanji says, "Yanji." And Yanji said, "That's what happens when you stick up for the peasants." That's awful. Anyways, Sanji says, "Aren't you just itching to see Ninji?" Outside and spawned to him being a culprit. And Yanji says, "Come with me, I'll lead the way." Sanji says, "Fine, man, B." Anyways, the scene changes, and Sanji says, "Where are?" And Yanji says, "You remember this place, don't you? After all, we tried our damnedest to get in here back when we were kids." And he opened up the door. He shows a big ass factory of some sort. What the heck? Anyway, somebody says 54 of type MB, 30 of type MST. We need 21 more extras for type MH. What the heck? And Sanji has a very, very shock in his face. He says, "What the fuck?" Wait, is this a cloning machine of some sort? So we have a guy being cloned, or... so they're like a clone country. I'm not sure what it is, but they're being cloned country. But I don't know what to say about this. Well, that's the end of chapter 839. Alright, that's it.